أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد، حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد، وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض ونجعلهم أئمة ونجعلهم الوارثين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. My dear viewers, my dear brothers and sisters worldwide, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tonight is the 15th, is the eve of the 15th of Sha'ban, the eve of mid-Sha'ban, which is the second most important night out of the year, a night in which certain things will be destined, very similar to Laylatul Qadr. Tonight is extremely similar to Laylatul Qadr. Three things will be destined in this night, the same way that it is said about Laylatul Qadr, it is said about Laylatul Nisfi min Sha'ban, the eve of mid-Sha'ban. Number one, al-arzaq. How much will you make this year? Will you find a job? Will you not find a job? Your rizq, your sustenance will be assigned tonight, will be destined tonight. Sustenance could be money, could be a job, could be a promotion, it could be knowledge, it could be a child. A child is a form of sustenance, a child is a form of rizq. Getting married, finding a wife, marrying a wife is a form of rizq. Finding a husband, it's a form of rizq. Having a child, it's a form of rizq. This is all decided tonight. Two, al-ajal, al-arzaq wal-ajal. Who gets to live for another year? Who will die within this year, from this mid-Sha'ban to the next mid-Sha'ban? Who will die and who will live? It will be decided tonight. Number three, al-hajj. Who will go to hajj? Who will be granted the pilgrimage to Mecca? It will be decided tonight. This year, who will go and perform hajj? It will be decided tonight. Thus, my dear brothers and sisters, tonight is an extremely important night. It's an extremely spiritual night. And there are a lot of a'mal. There's a lot of activities, spiritual and religious activities for the night. It could be found in Mafatih al-Jinan by al-Marhum Sheikh Abbas al-Qummi. Among the a'mal is ghusl, a special ghusl for tonight. Among the a'mal is to recite Dua Kumail. Dua Kumail is to be recited tonight. In fact, the first time that Amir al-Mu'mineen recited Dua Kumail was on mid-Sha'ban. It was recited in mid-Sha'ban. Thus, if you can, recite Dua Kumail tonight. There are special prayers. There are special prayers to be recited tonight, found in Mafatih al-Jinan. And among the best a'mal for tonight is Ziyaratul Hussein alayhi salam. If you are here in Karbala, then visit the Imam personally. If you can come personally to visit the Imam in person, then that is great. The hadith says, من أراد أن يصافحه أرواح 124,000 من الأنبياء فليزر الحسين ليلة النصف من شعبان. He who wishes for the spirits of 124,000 prophets to shake his hand, then let him visit Imam Hussein on the eve of Sha'aban. This is a hadith by Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. If you cannot come to Karbala, if you are outside of Iraq, but your heart is in Karbala, then stand on the roof. If you have a roof, go to the roof. If you don't have a roof, go to the top level of the top floor of your house, open the window and say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah, Assalamu alayka wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And this is called az-ziyara min bu'd, visiting the Imam from a distance. It will be counted for you as a ziyara and you will be rewarded. These are the a'mal of tonight. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tonight is a night in which the door of Allah's mercy are open and Allah accepts our dua. أسألك بحق هذه الليلة، أسألك في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته. When Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says in Dua Kumail, أسألك في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة, he's talking about mid Sha'ban, ليلة النصف من Sha'ban. Tonight, Karbala is packed with millions of youth, millions of visitors. Even though Karbala is under threat, Daesh or the ISIS, these hypocrites, these Wahhabis, these Khawarij, whom are looting and polluting and killing and murdering, who have ransacked Sameraa and Anbar and Mosul and wish to go to Diyala. Their main target now is Karbala, and they have promised to come to Karbala. Yet nevertheless we see millions who have come to Karbala tonight. Even though they are under threat, even though Karbala is under an imminent attack, and it could be attacked at any minute now, not just through car bombs, but by a military attack, by militias, yet thousands of youth have come to pay their respects to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They have come to say Labbayka ya Hussein and Labbayka ya Mahdi. They have come to join Imam Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman tonight to pay their respects to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Even though there's a danger, even though there's a threat, even though there's a fear, yet they've still come to celebrate this occasion and stand in the face of terror and tell them, it's as if these youth are saying that you cannot reach our shrines. We will protect these shrines with our blood, with our lives. Our bodies will turn into shields before you can reach the shrine of Imam Hussein or Abul Fadl Abbas or Amir al-Mu'mineen or al-Kadhimain or al-Askariyain. Tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, history has been made. Today, history has been made. The Grand Maraja and Najjaf have issued a call for jihad, jihad al-kifai, meaning that jihad is wajib upon all in Iraq. Jihad is wajib upon all in Iraq. However, if some youth who are capable will volunteer to fight these terrorists and these Wahhabis, and they were able to crush them, then the obligation falls and others are not obligated. However, if that number was not able to defeat the enemy, then others are required to enter the battlefield and fight these enemies of Allah and the enemies of the Prophet and the enemies of his Ahlul Bayt until they are crushed. And we are certain that they will be crushed. We are certain that these enemies, these ruthless barbarians who are the sons of Muawiyah and Yazid and Marwan ibn al-Hakam and Khalid ibn al-Walid, they will be crushed. They will be brutally crushed. And they will not be able to set foot in Karbala or Najjaf or Kadhimain or Sameraa. Never, because they will be crushed by the sons of Ali ibn Abi Talib and by the sons of al Hussein and the sons of Abu al-Fadl al Abbas. They say that we will come to Baghdad, the capital of Harun al-Rashid. Little do they know that Baghdad is now the capital of Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam. Who is Rashid? Who is Harun al-Rashid? Harun al-Rashid is now in history, in the trash of history. He's in the trash bins of history. Let them come and see Baghdad, the capital of Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam. They did not see the millions who went walking despite the threats and despite the danger. They walked to the shrine of Imam Musa ibn Ja'far Bab al-Hawa'ij. Where is Harun al-Rashid? Who asks about Harun al-Rashid? Who knows where he is? Harun al-Rashid is now burning in hellfire, in the lowest levels of hellfire. Baghdad is the capital of Imam Musa ibn Ja'far. They say that we will deal with you not in Baghdad or in Mosul, but we will come to Karbala and to Najjaf and we'll fix our problem with you. We tell them we are ready, you're welcome. Come to Karbala. Let's see what you have to say. Let's see what you have. You'd like to come to Karbala? You're more than welcome. Our youth are greeting you. Our youth are waiting for you at the borders of Karbala. Let's see you come, you cowards, you children of Yazid and Muawiyah. You're just like your forefathers and grandfathers who ran away from the battlefield, who would attack women and children. You're nothing but cowards. My dear brothers and sisters, today is history. Today, the people of Iraq, the loyal, honorable people of Iraq, the Shia of Iraq, the followers of Ahl al-Bayt, were waiting for their grand Maraja to just signal to them to take up arms and fight these terrorists. Today they will be crushed. For 11 years, our Maraja had patience. Our Maraja gave others the opportunity to calm down and come to the teachings of Islam and come to the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But enough is enough. Enough is enough. How much murders? How much killing? How many massacres? How many more youth have to be killed in the battlefields? How many innocent women and children and young adults need to be killed? Today, we say enough is enough. We will retaliate and we will defend. We will defend ourselves. We will defend our youth. We will defend our women and children. We will defend our shrines. Who will dare reach the shrine of Imam Hussein and Abu al-Fadl al Abbas? Who dares reach these shrines? Thus today we will be making history, my dear friends. My dear brothers and sisters, today we join the army to defend for our shrines and to defend for our faith and to defend for our religion. If Imam Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Ashura had stated, Ala wa inna ad-da'i ibn ad-da'i, or before Ashura he had stated, Ala wa inna ad-da'i ibn ad-da'i qad rakaza bayna ithnatayn bayna as-sallati wal-dhilla wa hayhat minna al-dhilla, then today the people of Iraq also shout, wa hayhat minna al-dhilla. No more oppression, no more tyranny. Our motivation is Imam al-Mahdi, Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, Ajjal Allah Ta'ala farajah. He is our motivation. He is our inspiration. The Imam who will wipe out tyranny and oppression from the face of this earth and instill justice. Then we are his followers and we await his arrival and we pave the way for his arrival. We pave the way for the arrival of the Imam. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guard our troops, to guard our young men and our soldiers who are risking their lives at the forefront, at the battle lines, in order to in order to guard these shrines, in order to guard these places of worshipping of Allah. They are there to defend these mosques and house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect them and to save them and to support them and to crush our enemies, to crush Daesh and whoever is supporting Daesh, whoever is supporting ISIS, whether financially or emotionally or morally. May Allah destroy them and eradicate them and free us from them. As we spoke about in the past few nights, we talked about misconceptions and questions concerning Imam al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif. Tonight we'd like to discuss an important question. The other school of thought, the Sunni school of thought, they pose a question and they say that your Imam al-Mahdi, who you claim as an Imam, Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Askari, who you say is al-Mahdi, his father died while this young man or this young child was at the age of 5. If what you say is true and he's al-Mahdi, that means he was 5 years old. We say that he's not even born. This is what the Sunni school of thought says. They say that we believe he's not even born yet. He will be born in the future. You say that he was born. He's born, he's alive, and he became an Imam at the age of 5. How is this possible? What sort of an Imam is this? Who becomes an Imam at the age of 5? How foolish can you be? What can you learn from a 5-year-old? How can you be guided and be led by a 5-year-old? That's just some pose this misconception. They pose this question and they try to put doubts in the minds of our youth and in the mind of our young men and women in order to doubt Imam al-Mahdi and to doubt his presence. In return, we say first of all, this is not something new for us, for the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt. Imam al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah became an Imam at the age of 5. But before him, Imam al-Jawad became an Imam at the age of 8. And Imam al-Hadi became an Imam at the age of 9. And Imam al-Hasan al-Askari became an Imam at the age of 22. Thus, it is not just Imam al-Mahdi that became an Imam at the age of 5 at a very young age. Same goes for Imam al-Jawad and Imam al-Hadi and Imam al-Hasan al-Askari. However, the question is, were they real Imams? Were they genuinely Imams? Were they guiding? Were they really leading? Did they have knowledge? Or they were fake? They were just Imams by name, just like some emperors and kings in Japan or other empires where the father dies and his only heir is a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old child who's declared an emperor, yet his mother is running the scene, or the prime minister is running the scene. Were our Imams like this as well? Some say, when did the Imam have a chance to learn? Which school did he go to? Who taught him? He was only 5 years old. How is this possible? The answer is, before we give the answer, let's mention a couple of points. And everything will be crystal clear. Crystal clear. We will discover if this Imam who became an Imam at the age of 5 or 8 or 9, was he genuinely an Imam or a fake Imam? Only an Imam by name, not an Imam by action, not an Imam by knowledge. First of all, the followers of Ahlul Bayt, who were the Shia, many of them were scholars. Many of them were scientists. Some of them were even ministers. These followers of Ahlul Bayt, the Shia, they didn't follow the Ahlul Bayt without a reason. They followed the Ahlul Bayt because the Ahlul Bayt had credentials. They have the credentials, they have the knowledge. They have the spirituality, they have the knowledge, they have the religious credentials. Followers of the Ahlul Bayt didn't follow them without a purpose, without a reason. Just because this person is a grandchild or grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No. It's because the imams had followers who believed in them. Because the imams and the Ahlul Bayt had credentials. No one forced the followers of Ahlul Bayt to follow the Ahlul Bayt. No one was passing out money. No one was holding a sword to their head telling them, come and follow the Ahlul Bayt, follow the imams. No, on the contrary, they were being killed for following the Ahlul Bayt. They were being persecuted for following the Ahlul Bayt. Thus, this shows that followers of Ahlul Bayt followed the Ahlul Bayt only because the Ahlul Bayt had credentials. This is one. Number two, the Ahlul Bayt did not hide at home and lock their door. No, their doors were open for everybody. Anyone can come and visit the Ahlul Bayt. People would come. The Ahlul Bayt could not hide away. People would come to them, ask them questions. Ask, what is your opinion about this? What is your opinion about that? And the Ahlul Bayt would answer, and these answers would be recorded. Number three, many followers of Ahlul Bayt were willing to sacrifice their life, just like we see today. Those who are willing to sacrifice their lives for the shrines of Ahlul Bayt. Imagine, while the Ahlul Bayt were alive, there were some that were willing to sacrifice their lives for the Ahlul Bayt themselves, not just their shrines. Number four, the rulers of the time made tremendous efforts in order to destroy the Ahlul Bayt. Either to wipe them out or kill them, or to take away their legitimacy, embarrass them, make them seem unknowledgeable. They would let other scholars test them, thinking that other scholars were more knowledgeable than the Ahlul Bayt. They would try to embarrass the Ahlul Bayt, make them look unknowledgeable or uneducated, but none of this worked. From these points we conclude that the imamah of these young imams was real, it was not fake. Otherwise, who would sacrifice their life for these imams who didn't have answers for their questions, who were not qualified to rule? Who? If these imams were not qualified to rule, the khulafa would say so. They would declare such a thing. They would say, these are children, they lack knowledge, why follow them? Wouldn't this be the best excuse for the khulafa, who would take advantage of every single event to try to take people away from the Ahlul Bayt? Wouldn't they use this as an excuse that these imams are young? Imam al-Mahdi, why was he persecuted? Why did he have to go into occultation? There's lesser occultation and the greater occultation. Why? Wasn't it because his life was in danger? Why would his life be in danger if he was a child? If he was a child who didn't understand, who lacked the credentials, the religious and the spiritual and the educational credentials, why would his life be under threat? Why would people want to kill him? Why would anyone sacrifice their lives for these Ahlul Bayt, these members of Ahlul Bayt, Imam al-Jawad, Imam al-Hadi, Imam al-Askari, and Imam al-Mahdi? Why? It's because they were legitimate imams. Don't be fooled by his age. Imam al-Mahdi was 5, but he was as strong and as knowledgeable and as spiritual and had the credentials of a man who was 50 years old. Imam Jawad was 8 years old, but had the credentials of an 80-year-old man. They were ready. They were ready to be imams. Thus, this is not a misconception. Such a misconception does not pose a problem for us. So what if the imam was 5 years old and the other imams were young? They were 8 or 9 or 11 or 22 or whatever. This does not scare us. This does not drive us away from the Ahlul Bayt. The Ahlul Bayt were scholars, and their knowledge is ladunni. It is passed on from one imam to the next. And we believe that their knowledge comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not through schools, not through universities, not through colleges. Both school of thought, the Sunni and the Shia school of thought, we narrate the following hadith: Al-ilmu nurun yaqdhafuhu Allah fi qalbi man yasha. That knowledge is a light that Allah puts in the hearts of those whom He wishes to put in their hearts. We all accept this hadith. We all believe in this hadith. Why don't we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the knowledge in the hearts of the Ahlul Bayt? He put the knowledge in the heart of Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-sharif. And the Quran, we have the Quran. The Quran is very explicit regarding Yahya alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says regarding Yahya, Ya Yahya khudh al-kitaba biquwwa wa ataynahu al-hukma sabiyya. And we gave him power as a young man. As a child, not just a young man. As a child. Sabi means a child. Means 5 or 6 or 7. The Quran says we gave power. Meaning what? Power meaning what? Yahya never became a king or a ruler, but he became a prophet. He became a prophet at a young age. Isa alayhi salam. When did Isa receive the revelation and become a prophet? Isa alayhi salam, as soon as he was born, قال إني رسول الله فأشارت إليه قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهدي صبيا قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب. Isa alayhi salam was a newborn child. He spoke and he became a prophet. He became a messenger. He would speak to them. قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني مباركا أينما كنت وأوصاني بالصلاة والزكاة ما دمت حيا وبرا بوالدتي ولم أكن جبارا شقيا والسلام عليه يوم ولد ويوم يموت ويوم يبعث حيا. Isa alayhi salam received the prophecy while he was a newborn child. Yahya received the prophecy and the message when he was a child. Why is it that we cannot believe Imam al-Mahdi became an imam at the age of 5? Why is this so difficult? Because he's a Shia imam? Because he's one of the imams of Ahlul Bayt? Is this our bias against him? Our bias against him is because he's the imam of Ahlul Bayt? Thus, this is not a misconception. Tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, as I reach the conclusion of our show, I congratulate to everyone the birthday of our final Imam, the Imam of our time, Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this a joyous occasion for all followers of Ahlul Bayt, even though we have youth today at the forefront, at the battle lines, fighting and sacrificing their lives for Islam and for the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt. I ask Allah to support them, to protect them, and to bring victory to them and make them among the troops and army of Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah, and to hasten his reappearance. Allahumma ajjil walika al-faraj wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi al-tahirin.
فرحانة بمولد مهديها. هاي الأفراح للمهدي نرخص أرواح للمهدي. هاي الأفراح للمهدي نرخص أرواح للمهدي. صاحت بالمولد ريحانة وشميناها عاشت هاي النفحة ويانا وعشنا وياها فاحت بالمولد ريحانة وشميناها عاشت هاي النفحة ويانا وعشنا وياها تهنينا الدنيا وفرحانة وهنيناها ضوينا شموع الدنيانا ونورناها مولود المهدي نهنيها بشموع الفرحة نضويها. مولود المهدي نهنيها بشموع الفرحة نضويها. هاي الأفراح للمهدي نرخص أرواح للمهدي. هاي الأفراح للمهدي نرخص أرواح. هالليلة الدنيا وما بيها فرحانة بمولد مهديها. هالليلة الدنيا وما بيها فرحانة بمولد مهديها. هاي الأفراح للمهدي نرخص أرواح للمهدي. هاي الأفراح للمهدي نرخص أرواح للمهدي. من كل روضة تهب النسمة ومن كل نادي وبمولود المهدي الأمة تهني الهادي. من كل روضة تهب النسمة ومن كل نادي وبمولود المهدي الأمة تهني الهادي. والصداح بأعذب نغمة صوته ينادي ويغرد ما بين القمة وسفح الوادي. سرحت أمتنا بواديها وتزف